A very good evening to you and welcome to this episode of Know Your Health. I'm so glad you could join us. My name is Sylvia Nyongesa and welcome. We are just starting up and today we decided to talk about matters COVID-19. Do you really understand COVID-19? Although it has been with us for a while now, we've been wearing masks, sanitizing, washing our hands, keeping social distancing, but there are more types of COVID-19 now coming up. So we've decided that today we are going to discuss that. And with me in studio to help just understand COVID-19 is a community health worker who will just introduce himself. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Maybe you can just tell the viewer your name and what you do.
My name is Robert Nyandika. I'm a public health officer. Currently I'm coordinating disease surveillance in the county.
In the county of Trans-Nzoia?
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So when it comes to matters COVID-19, Dr.
Yes.
A lot of people have been saying that COVID-19 is not there. We're just walking around. They're telling us to wash our hands, to observe curfew. We are closing our businesses very early. But mtu wa kwetu hajakufa na COVID. You know, it's been with us for a while now, but watu bado hawaamini kuna COVID. What can you tell?
Maybe I can start with defining what is COVID.
Yeah.
COVID is a disease which is caused by a virus called SARS-CoV-2. That is severe acute respiratory syndrome type 2. It started from China in 2019. That is why it is called COVID-19. So we have been having COVID. 2002 we had COVID. Yes, but not COVID-19.
Okay.
We had COVID. 2006 we had COVID. 2009 we had COVID. 2012 we had COVID. But this one was unique in a way that it was spreading so fast and getting so many people. That is why it was named COVID-19 when it was discovered in China. So COVID is there and it is real. So unless you have one of your family member affected with it, that's when you will believe. But if you have not gotten those experiences, you cannot believe. Yeah.
You've already explained what COVID-19 is.
Yes.
Maybe you can also help us understand the symptoms.
Incubation period for COVID-19 is 14 days. But signs and symptoms, through my experience, because I've been handling the COVID-19 positives, it varies from individual to individuals depending on your immunity. One of the signs is headache, severe headache, not the normal headache. Then we have cough, dry cough. Then there is difficulty in breathing. We have dizziness. We have loss of smell, sense of smell, the sense of taste. Those are now the critical signs. Yeah, so it also varies from person to person. Yeah.
When you talk about headaches, dizziness and loss of sense of smell, everybody else would tell you that when I have a small fever, I usually lose my sense of taste and my sense of smell. Does it mean that maybe I have contracted COVID and healed before it became severe?
No, we normally tell people that once it is not easy to know that you have COVID. It is not very easy. Not unless you go for testing, that's when you realize you have COVID-19. But because we have seen so many people treating themselves at home as cough, malaria, but they don't get well. So they come when it is too late to realize that it is cough after testing.
How can you advise the viewer about that? Because a lot of people would have such symptoms and think that this is a normal cough. This is a normal, maybe just homa ya kawaida,
yes,
the way we call it.
Hiyo ndio shida tuko nayo na Kenya. Kwa sababu, you also remember, or if you know, there is also stigma attached or connected with the diseases.
Yeah.
People don't want to be connected to COVID. So people fear coming to the facility to be tested. because of that stigmatization. So, but I encourage people that corona, COVID, is a normal cough. It's a normal cough which can be managed. So, in case they suspect they have cough which is persistent, it's better for them to come and get tested.
All right. So now that your jurisdiction is Trans Nzoia County, can you maybe just tell us a little bit about the COVID-19 situation in Trans Nzoia?
The status right now, it is not so good because our positivity rate is 13.3%, and yet we are supposed to contain it up to below 5%. So you see, it is almost 3 times what is expected. So COVID is there, and it is spreading within our community. So I'm encouraging people at the community because they think corona is for town people who stay in town. Watu wanakaa town ndio wako na corona, but not in the community. So COVID is there and it is real.
Now, Daktari, we've heard about the different variants of COVID-19, and there have been a lot of types of COVID. Maybe you can just help us understand these types of COVID-19.
The virus is the same.
Yes.
The virus is SARS-CoV-2, that's the mother virus. Then we have subgroups. The subgroups is now we call alpha. Alpha is a subgroup. Then we have Peta, is a subgroup. Then we have Gamma, is a subgroup. Now the fourth one, which is called the Delta. Yeah, these are subgroups, but the mother one is SARS.
Okay, so have we reported these types of COVID-19 in Trans Nzoia?
The challenge we have right now, you cannot be able to tell this is alpha, this is gamma, this is beta. We only differentiate through the severity of the disease. Right now, the delta, the only difference between the delta and the other one is that delta transmits very fast, and it is very so infectious than those ones. And if you are not very careful, it can take you, it can kill you at a very high rate.
Okay, so in this episode, I wanted us to really discuss the Delta variant because it is the one that has been trending, and people are very afraid of it. We've heard about it, we've heard the way it is very deadly, it is contagious and everything, but the normal person does not really understand what is the Delta variant. Maybe you can just help us understand what it is.
The Delta variant signs are the same as the other one. The only difference is that you might not be able to recognize it because some people don't present with cough and the sense of loss of smell. You might have the sense of smell and the cough without cough, but you have the Delta. But now the severity, the headache is the one that will differentiate with the rest. If you have severe headache, even if you take Panadol, it's not cannot be able to contain it. Then you start suspecting that is a Delta. Yeah.
What about the breathing difficulties?
Breathing difficulties, it varies from person to person, depending where the virus the virus has attacked which body parts. Some they don't go to the lungs; they go direct to the coronary. So that's the intestine. But if it goes to the pulmonary system, then that's now where you get the problem of breathing. Yeah.
So actually COVID-19 attacks the intestines.
It goes through the intestines and then you just die at the viruses.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it is possible that one would actually contract the virus.
In fact, nowadays,
and get better.
even in the samples we take,
Yes.
in some parts, we take the stool.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
We take stool samples to know whether there are some viruses.
Okay.
Yes.
And what would be the group that would be most affected? The risk group. What are the risk factors of contracting that Delta variant?
The most risk groups are people with comorbidities, these other conditions like pressure, diabetes, and other diseases. Those are the people with at a high risk. Then we have people above 58 years old, because as you become old, your immunity still goes down. Those are people at a very high risk. Yes.
And what about children?
Then even occupation, when we talk of occupation, there are those people who are exposed to a certain environment, like the health workers, even teachers or security. They are also at a very high risk group. That's why when we started vaccination, the government said, let us start with those who are exposed most, then we come to the larger population later. Yeah.
So are children at a high risk of contracting COVID-19 or the Delta variant, or children are fine regarding the COVID-19?
All people can get COVID. Let me say it hard. All people can get COVID. But children, their immunity, their immunity is a little bit stronger compared to the old age. Another challenge we have, of course, we have gotten children with COVID. But now, because of the disease is still new, investigation is still ongoing, we have not gotten information on how to handle the young children. That's why you see even the government is saying, don't vaccinate children from 0 up to 17 years, because we don't know how this vaccine will get to the body.
Okay, speaking about children and COVID-19, it brings the issue of what if the mother contracts COVID-19 and maybe she is a lactating mother or a pregnant a woman. What then happens? What are the precautions that can be taken?
The precautions, as I've said, children, they have their own antibodies, which is still strong, but with matters, we can manage the condition. We don't have treatment for COVID. We only manage the conditions. Yeah, and they are manageable. Yeah.
Kunywa maji ya ndimu na tangawizi. Does it really work?
Yes, it works. It works because what we normally advise, we have people or patients who are under home-based care. We don't take all patients to isolation center, depending on the conditions. Some are at home, and this is what we advise them. Take machamoto, the na ndimu, garlic, ginger, all those things, honey, all kinds of fruits, yes, to improve the immunity. The purpose of this is to improve the immunity.
No, it's not medicine.
Not medicine. It is not medicine. It's just to improve the immunity.
Okay, so how contagious is the Delta variant as compared to the original COVID-19 when tulikuwa tunajua before?
The contagiousness is that even if you are vaccinated, you are likely to get the Delta compared to the rest kind of subtype.
Oh, because I was just going to ask you if vaccines are actually effective against the Delta variant.
Vaccines, because we have now asked them, they are 90% effective. That's why we say 10%, you are, even if you are vaccinated or not, you are likely to get the disease again. Yeah. So all vaccines are effective, but not perfect. That's what we say.
Okay.
They are effective, but not 100% perfect.
What you're saying is that even if the viewer is vaccinated, he or she will still need to wear a mask, will still need to sanitize and wash their hands regularly. They would still need to keep social distancing. They should still, they are still required to stay where there are no crowds and everything like that. So you've heard that you're supposed to continue taking the COVID-19 precautions as before, even if you are vaccinated. When we come back from this short commercial break, we will be talking about the importance of getting the COVID-19 vaccine and other emerging factors, especially about the Delta variant. Of course, you can keep the conversation going with us on our social media pages at Imani Television and also on our SMS line at 0746 780588. If you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, we are here to answer them. So kindly keep talking to us.